Okay. So yesterday we cleaned up these tables which we brought in from the PostgreSQL database, which I'll send the link to into our platform again. Okay, thank God we recorded yesterday as well. So I'm going to close and apply this, having cleaned up the table, the different tables that we have. Let's do a close and apply, and then we can check our data model and see if what has been formed, the data model we have, if it is what we believe is right. Okay, we did establish that customer ID is okay, is related to customer 360 table. That's fine. Okay. Now, do I want to relate? I don't want to relate these two together. So I'm going to delete this. Okay. I want for customer table, I want this to be related to customer table so that we are having, this is dimension table. Okay. We can relate this onto customers like that. Okay, it says many to many. How is it many to many? Customer ID, customer ID. That's interesting. Okay. On customers table, I was expecting the ID to be 1 and not repeated. So let's maybe because of the country that okay, let's go and see what's happening here, because that's not correct. Customers table, the ID is supposed to be unique. Okay, so this is why it's necessary to really check well what is happening. So let's go into customers table, edit it, and see why we are having duplicates. Okay, customer ID 12 distinct. So what happened? Is it because of the expanded? You see why I don't like bringing expanding tables. Okay, I'm going to take this out because that changed. I'll remove this table and remove that expanded, remove this last step as well. Okay, now that should work better. If I, just to check for duplicate, if I say keep duplicates, see if there are duplicates here. Okay, no duplicates. So that's fine. That was just to check. Okay. Product as well. Will product give us that same problem? Product ID should not be duplicates. So if there's duplicates here, then there's problem. Looks like there is. There is, okay. So that is not supposed to give us duplicate either. So I'll take this out. I'll take this out and I'll take expanded out. Okay, and what do we have? I'm just going to remove the table. So when there's table in table, like we've been saying, it's just best to take it out really. Take the whole table out. So now I'm expecting this to not have duplicates anymore. So I think we are fine now. So far, let's close and apply the changes. And then we'll go into our data model and see. So now I want to form customer ID. Okay, now this is what we were expecting. So 1 to many is fine. That's better. Okay. Is this still relevant like this? Let me delete this and form it again. This will now become 1 to 1. I believe customer ID. Yeah, it will become one-to-one, which is all right. Filter in both directions for that. I'm not bothered with that just yet. Okay, the main tables we are going to be really working with more than anything are these ones. Okay, so we have that. Then products category overview. What has it done here? Okay, category is fine. That's one-to-many. Now this, I don't want this to go. I'm going to take this out. I want products to be to be directly also talking to the transaction table. Okay, so I'll bring this up a bit so we can see what's happening. So I need the product ID to form products here. Okay. All right, so now ignore this table for a second. This customer 360, ignore it for a second, okay? Now we have customers table, which is a dimension table. We have products table, which is a dimension table. We have a categories table, which is a dimension table. And we have the transactions table, which is a fact table. And each one of these dimension tables are now joined to the fact table. If we cover up this part, just pretend this table doesn't exist, So what we have now is star schema, okay, because all of the dimension tables are directly communicating with the fact table. Does that make sense? Does that data model make sense to us?
Yes.
Okay. I've not saved this. Okay, it's asking for the name. It's a customer insights. Customer insights report, something like that. And it's saving it on my desktop. That's fine. Okay. All right. So our data model is formed, and then we can now go to start creating the DAPs, the measures rather. Let's start to create the measures. Let me hide this so I can see my screen very well. Okay, let's make a table where we will house the measures, okay, that we want to use very quickly. If we can just create a few of the load that, if we can just quickly create a few of the a few of the visuals on that first page today, that will be something. Then we can carry on from there tomorrow. I'm just going to quickly save what has been done just now, okay? And if we go into this, we need total customers. So let's quickly count our customers. How many customers have we got? Okay, so if we go into here, and I will create it in the measures table, new measure now. Okay, and we want to count the customers. So we can say total customers equals, okay, we can count distinct. So let's count distinct or distinct count. And we're going to count distinct. We can count from the customers table, or we can count from the transactions table, okay? So whichever one, let's count from the customers table. Okay, actually I'll count from the transactions table. How many customers are on the transactions table? So if I start with transaction customer ID, we are going to count their ID, and we are distinct count here. ID appeared many times. Like it's not distinct, but we are saying distinct count. So if you have counted one particular ID, don't count it again. That's the distinct count there. Okay, so let's enter that. Okay, so that has been done. Very quickly, I'm going to remove this empty column that came with the thing with us, that came with the table with us. I don't like seeing it now that we have a placeholder. Okay, very quickly again, I'm going to click on a card visual. Let's see how many customers it's telling us we have. Saying we have 6,000 customers. Okay, if I had counted from customers table, okay, if I had counted from customers table, let's see if that would have given us 6,000 still. So if I had said just count this time, or distinct count, doesn't matter. If I had said count from customers table, and I want you to count customer ID. So just showing us the different ways that we could have done this. Okay, and it's still 6,000. Okay, still 6,000. Okay, so that is fine. I don't like seeing like 6K, 6M. You know, I like to see the actual figures completely. So if I go into the paintbrush and it's the call out value, you know, and I say for it to go into the value and remove, I need to do that. So where it says all, because there's quite a few values you can put there. So for total customers, I want to tell it to not put units. That's units there. Okay, so if I say none, display units none. Now we can see the exact, it's not rounding it up for us. We can see the exact, and we can, you know, use the 1,000, what's it called? 1,000 separator. Okay, so there we can see that we have 5,878 customers in our business. And it's talking about total revenue as well. So if we go into the transaction table, let's see which of the total price. I think it's going to be the total price that will be our total revenue. So let's go and sum up this total price, because I see unit price here, I see quantity here. So that has been done for us. Okay, so let's sum up total price very quickly in measure. So new measure, and it's gonna be total revenue. Total revenue equals, we're just gonna sum up from transaction table, total price, this one here. Okay, we close that. Okay, and we have that. Okay, we can put 1,000 separator on it as well. Okay, and if I'm going to choose another card for it, I won't put it all in the same card. I know that can accommodate quite a few cards, but I'm not going to do that. So total revenue is giving us 17.74 million. Okay, so if we go into the paint, just to remove that call out value, just to remove that M. So total revenue now. Again, I want the value to not have any units, just display the figures so that we know where we are at, and I can tell it to remove the decimal places as well. I don't want decimal place. Most of the time, they just want to see the whole figure. Okay, so that's what our revenue is. Okay, I'm going to save that so that, you know, we don't lose that. I think we can still quickly make more. Are we on the same page? Are you understanding what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So which other visual? So we've done these two. Okay. Don't worry about the figures. The figures don't have to be the same. These are just, I believe, are just prototypes that we are following. We just need to build something that shows something like this. Okay, so we want to see by months, monthly in the last 6 months. Okay, so revenue trend. Okay, so we have a revenue, we have revenue DAX already, measure already, okay? So if we can either use line chart, we can try the two, okay? Let's see how line chart would display that. Okay, sorry, I didn't create a date table. Normally we would have a date table, remember? Okay, standard practice is to have a date table. Okay, and if we look at the dates here, let's look at the dates in the transaction. I forgot that bit. I don't know how. Okay, so if we look at ascending, we have 1st of December 2009, and then we have descending. We have 9th of 9th of what's that? 9th of December 2011. Okay, that's the last date there. We can, without using the clear this up, without using the method I normally use, we can actually quickly just create a quick date table in another way. Okay, so I hope I remember this. If I go into table tools, let me see. Table tools, new table. I want to create a new table. Okay, and it's asking me. So I went into under table view. I went into table tools, and one of the options was you can create a new table. Okay, the table name, I want it to be called date equals, and we can use the calendar function or calendar auto. I'm using the calendar auto or calendar function. Calendar auto is easier because it will just automatically look into the data set that you are using and bring all the dates out. Okay, it's asking for the fiscal year-end month, which is for year-end month, fiscal year-end month. It normally ends in March and fiscal year starts in April. It will end in March and then start in April. I'm hoping that I'm right with that. Let's see what it brings. Okay, so see, it's gone on to pick date for us from 1st of April 2009, you know, which is right because it's 1st of December 2009. So it's picking all the dates that we need. If you don't want to use the table code, this is one way to do this, okay? And it's giving us date and time. I don't want to use date and time because it just looks long for nothing's sake. So all of the dates here, I'll change them up, except we have anything to do with time, which I don't think, okay? So for now, let me change that to just date instead of date and time, because all the time is just 00 anyway, okay? And we can decide to use short dates rather than long dates. So we have that. Okay, I'm just going to save that. And then we can start creating more columns on here. Now that we have the dates, it is now you that will create the month, the month, the year, what is important to us, okay? So while we are in this date, now we are not in measure, we are in date. While we are in date, let me see if I can remember. New column now. You know, we've been using measure. Now I want to add another column to this date table that we are making. So new column is what we will use. I want to create a new column on this table where I am at. And maybe I want to say months. Create month for us equals text. Is it text I should be using in, no, not text, format. Let me use format. Okay, format. What's the value? The value is dates, 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 date table dates. comma, and the format is, I'll put this month, isn't it? I want MMM, 4 M's, I believe. If I do that, let's see what it brings. Okay, it brings the whole name. Okay, so that's it. And we can see it gives April, August, December, and so on. So the full name. Sometimes we may need the short form of these months. Okay, so we add another column where we can call that short month. Okay, so short month. Short month. I'm checking time as we are going. So equals format. We're going to be using format to create most of these, and it's dates, and comma. And I'm going to just use 3 M's this time around MMM. Okay. And this one is just to give us a short month. So April would be APR, November will be NOV. Okay, so it's normally very handy when we do this, okay? And sometimes we need the date, the month number. Most of the time, actually, we need the month number, okay? So again, if for when you don't have your date table handy, this is a good way to create your date table from scratch, okay? And this is month number now, month number equals, okay, again we format, okay, and still the date. If you notice, we have been using that very first dates, the very first column in this table. And this time I'm just gonna use 2 M's, okay, and with 2 M's is just gonna give us the month number. Can you see? 04 up to 12, okay, 01 up to 12, okay. So that works well. Then we can do the year, okay, and I'm saving as I go so that we don't lose all of that hard work, okay. And the last one, I'm going to just add year, and year is just very similar format again, okay. So we say year equals format. We are still going to be using the dates to get what we need. Dates, comma, and this time instead of we use year. 4 years. If you want the full like 2026 instead of just 26 or 25. And can you see the YYY or the MMM was put in double quotes? Okay, so I close that up, and now we have the year. Okay, and these are the basic. These are actually what we need basically. Okay, now I'm going to mark this table as a date table. Okay, I'll click on it as a table and mark it as date table. Okay, so it's recognized as a date table, and it's saying that which column is date is the date. And I save that. That is normally very needed as a practice. So it knows which one is your date table and which column is the actual date. Okay, again, let's save all of that. Okay, now we need to go into the column, not column, the data model, you know, and because dates we have only just created, okay? So we need to ensure that date is, we can use other dates and use and form a relationship and see, yeah, perfect, many to one, okay? So now dates is related to the, date is the new dimension table that is now related to that, okay? Thank God we are recording this, so we can see over and over again how that has been created. Okay, it was necessary to quickly create that because we are about to do something in the area of trend analysis. Okay, we want to see how the revenue has done, you know, over months, okay, over time. Okay, so let's quickly create that. And we have revenue in the measures. While I'm here, I'm going to pick month, okay? And we'll come back to month because I know something would happen. But yes, let's pick revenue, okay? And it's just giving one dot. Why is that? Why is it giving just a dot? It shouldn't be giving just one dot. Did I relate it well? Public transaction, yes. Okay. What could be the problem? I was expecting that the month to spread out over time. Let me see if I did it with the
Why
date.
can't we pick the year instead of
We
the
can
months?
actually. Okay, so it's doing well here. Okay, if I use dates. Okay, so there's something. It's not, the date table is not agreeing to work properly. Can you see? If
Or maybe because it's total revenue.
but we used this transaction table to create the revenue. Well, I don't think that should be the problem. But if I go into the Power Query and quickly change the date and time, maybe could that be the problem? Because our order dates, it shouldn't be a problem really. But it's in date and time. So if I change it to just dates, would that change anything? Let's see. Wow, it's a lot of rows. I hope it's really loading right. That is taking really, really long. I'm not sure what that is about. I want to cancel it. Patience. They say patience is very important. So okay, so the relationship has been done right. Then what's this problem? Now, if I put dates, okay, I think that's the problem. The other date and the whatever it was, Isha has had problem. All right, so this is the line trend, but this is not what we want to see. It says that we should show the last 6 months. Now we can't just, I would have loved for us to use filter, but the last 6 months of this data is in 2011. Okay, so I better not let this die. So we have to find a way around how that is gonna work. Okay, right. Then let me try months actually instead of Okay. Can you see what it has done? Okay, so now month by month, it has shown us that, but that's not completely right, because we have year as well. If I put legend in years, we can see the different years, you know, that the different years that has got, we have 2009, 2010, only one dot for 2009. That's strange, which is in December, and then 2010, and then 2011. Okay, let's go into the data itself. Is it only one for 2009? Is it only one data point that we should be having? So, ascending, only December. Okay. Only December in all, okay, yes. Because from only December month is what we have, and then it went straight into January. Okay, that's correct. That's how we need to be making sure we know we check what we are doing. So that's why, because we've done it by month. And for 2009, only December was present. That's why it's just that dot. And then we have full year for 2010, and then full year for 2011. Okay. But it says only the last 6 months of that data set is what it needs to see. So we can filter out 09 and 010 and 2010. Okay. A lazy way for me to do that is to go into the filter. Okay. And we can take out 09 and take out 010 and take out 11. If we take out 20, okay, no, we can't take out. Is it okay? Is it 2012? Okay, there's no 2012. It's just doing whatever with us. Okay, and then we only need the last 6 months of the 2012. But if you observe, the months are not in order. See, November, October, September. So how we normally order that is that you would click on months, okay, and we can use short months rather than month. Actually, we can use both, but let me do it for both. So if we go into month and it says sort by, where it says sort by column, which column do we want to sort it by? By month number. That's why we have the month number. So it will now use number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to sort that particular one. Let's do it for short month as well. Sort by month number. Okay. So if we now go into this sort, and we are saying that this needs to be sorted by months, okay, and it needs to be sorted in ascending order, months, and it's ascending order. So we have January, February, but our thing here says last 6 months, okay, monthly last 6 months. Okay, so let's obey that and condition this to only show the last 6 months. So if I go into months, okay, and we just remove the first 6 months and show only the last 6 months of that data set. Okay, so there is quite a lot of ways that you can achieve what you need to achieve in Power BI. We could have done this by DAX calculation, but I don't want to go through that. Okay, that's why. And then we can remove that legend now, because there are no other years, there. So that legend was just enough to help us achieve what we needed to achieve. And we can change this what's it called? This line color if we want when we are ready, but not just yet. Okay, so the work is carrying on. We are gradually getting somewhere. We just need to ensure we have enough space. If not, we can always expand our Canva this report page to the size that we need. Okay, I'm just going to clean this up very quickly so that looks a little better. When we see July, August under x-axis, we already know that is month. So for x-axis that we remove the title, we don't need to see that month. And total revenue by the side for y-axis, we don't need to see that as well. And I'll change this to, instead of gray color, to black so that we can read it more properly. Okay, we can even remove that and put short months there if we want to again, just to make it more concise. Okay, so I'll remove the title from here as well. And under title, under value rather, I'll change that up. Okay, change this to black. Okay, and we can see total revenue by month, and we can put last 6 months on there, somewhere there in the title if we want. So where it says title, let's see, title is on, it says total revenue by month, and I can just put last 6 months in bracket in front of that. Last 6 months. Okay, and I can have that as Arial as well, just for consistency, nothing major. And I can reduce that so that it's not eating too much into. Okay, and then I can position it to be in the middle. We can remove if we want the dots, the grid line, if we want. And if we change this from, instead of months, if we change this to short month rather than, and just remove that. Okay, short month. What did I do? Okay, no, it's putting it as a legend when it should be on the x-axis. Okay, I think that reads better. Yes, it just went to legend instead of going straight to month, and we can save all of that work. Okay, and that is three of the visuals quickly done. We are still going to be making this look quite neater than this. Okay, we are going to go in a second. Okay, and the last will be customer segment. We'll just use how many total number of customers that we have. We've counted customers already. Okay, we'll just put this in legend. Okay, was under customer, where did we have high, low? Is it under public transaction? Under this is where we've got, okay, maybe not. Where it has the high, low, medium. Okay, I'm gonna let us go now because that time is fast spent. I think it might be on this other one. Category 360, customer 360. I think that's the one that's got high, low. Yeah, the segments. Okay, so we'll find a way to relate that table properly and see how we can get this, except of course we decide to count from that table as well. I'm counting from that table just to get that visual, that particular visual, because we can't count from just customers and think that would work. Okay, it may work if customer table is related to it. Is related to it. Okay, we should be fine then. This table is speaking to this table, so we should be able to do it. Okay, so very lastly, I know I can't stop when I start. Very lastly, it's just this, and we have total customer, which is 6,000. And we are saying, let's go into customer 360 and pick, is it churn risk? I think it is. Churn risk and put in legend. Okay, and no, it's not. That's true or false. What is the segment? Is segment actually, and put here. Okay, and I'm going to save that, and we will continue from there tomorrow. Any questions? Any misunderstanding with what we've done today at all? All we've done today is just carried on from where we stopped yesterday. Yesterday, what happened? We brought our data in. We got the link. We brought the data in. We cleaned the data. Today, we formed our data model. Okay, and we've just been following our prototype, which is what we expect the Power BI as we would expect it to be in the platform that is being built. So far, we've done this, and this, and this. So tomorrow we'll try our hands on more of the visuals that we see here. It's still a long way to go, but I believe we are up to the task. I will stop there and give us time to rest a little before the 9 o'clock. Thanks very much for your time and patience. I hope I haven't bored you too much. I will try and upload yesterday and today's recording so that you can start getting your hands dirty as well. Somebody was going to say
and the
something.
link.
And the link, yes, that's very important. And the link, very, very important.